sometimes with storms, especially in the Atlantic hurricane season. We are already on Beryl, a hurricane at this point in time. We're keeping an eye out for Chris, possibly Debbie. You never know how quickly we can go through the list in just a matter of weeks throughout the month of July. Here's what we have going on in the tropics right now. Identifying a tropical wave working its way towards Mexico at this point in time. Also, another tropical wave behind Beryl. Beryl is a hurricane, major hurricane, as it works its way through. So here we are Sunday, still watching that first tropical wave across the southwestern Gulf of Mexico. Could develop today, still a middle of the road kind of risk, 50-50 shot, if you will, as to whether or not it forms. As it pushes into Mexico, what it brings is rain, some gusty winds, similar impacts to Alberto, so that could mean some flooding and mudslides, but beyond that, it's not a big threat. So Beryl is our big story. Hurricane still working its way off toward the Caribbean. That's just as we get into this evening. Then into tomorrow, we'll be talking about it moving through the Caribbean throughout the course of the day. Timing here does take it a little bit faster now. Looks like Thursday it's going to be near Central America, or at least towards the western edge of Cuba. So this is where it's exiting the Caribbean and pushing into the Gulf of Mexico for Thursday. And that's why the 4th of July, you gotta watch out. Right through the middle of this week, we'll be talking about this storm, and subtle changes could mean some impacts. One of the reasons why this storm formed very far south, below the dry air and the wind shear around this high pressure system, which is steering it into the Caribbean, and because of the warm water, it's allowed to strengthen. But once it gets into the middle of the Caribbean, we still need to decide as to where this high pressure system sets up, how it could actually pull and impact the storm towards the Gulf of Mexico. So once it gets to the middle of the Caribbean, that's where we'll kind of get a better handle on where that high will be as it ventures towards the Gulf of Mexico and what kind of impacts it could have for the U.S. We know, though, it will have storm surge for some of the islands and likely to form as we go through this week. So this will be another one to watch because it could take a similar track to Beryl or turns north before that. All right, let's turn to U.S. where things are going to be heating up and staying pretty dry. Thank you for sticking with us here on AccuWeather Weekend. We do have more to cover. Of course, it's been a busy spring so far for some, and warm weather brought out billions of cicadas this spring. All great tips as we look across the southeast. Maybe the rain can help wash some of those cicadas away. The good news is with the showers and thunderstorms, these are kind of our summertime showers and thunderstorms, but notice the front off towards the north. This is going to enhance things through Tennessee and some of the Carolinas, so be ready for some heavier rain there as we head throughout your Sunday. Atlanta, hit or miss thunderstorm for 90s back to the mid 90s. Like I said, though, Tennessee into the Carolinas, this is where we're talking about some of those more prolific storm hours, though things die down pretty quickly for us. Frontal boundary, though, maybe still igniting some showers, a rumble of thunder. All of that does quiet down into tomorrow morning. However, we could still have some lingering moisture towards the North Carolina coastline. That does try to move offshore, but this is the official. Great tips that you could need as you look across the western U.S. this week, because we do have a lot of heat starting to build across California. Again, that's going to be later through the middle and late part of the week. Currently, though, your Sunday is showing some showers returning to places like Seattle. Just a brief passing shower. I don't think there's any problems out there. Temperatures in the upper 70s, back to the, if you will, outside. And that heat is actually going to continue to build as we go throughout the week across the southwest. Well, there will still be some showers and thunderstorms towards those higher elevations, a bit of that monsoonal flow kicking in, plus the end of some of those frontal boundaries that